What's up, guys? Welcome to our Chile Sports. Today, we will be discussing about Premier League managers whose job is under threat after match day 4, or maybe the first Premier League managers to be sacked. Who is it gonna be? And also discussing life is going to be the international qualifiers, like the CAF qualifiers and also European qualifiers is also still going on, and there's international break, and we just need to enjoy ourselves with this weekend with these discussions. And first of all, we know about Premier League. There are a lot of managers who are under pressure because the job they anticipate is not actually going quite very well. And we will be discussing a lot of them. And hey, Kofi is with me here, and Kay will be joining us later to actually see the depth of those managers. I don't know whether it's going to be because the managers are not actually performing, or because of players, or it's going because it's going to be the board. We will be discussing all these things, and you will be able to know what's up. So stay tuned, and if you're new, subscribe and be part of this amazing community. Okay, first of all, I think we need to start somewhere, and in starting, we just need to start with Everton. Sean Dyche took over from Lampard last season, and probably he didn't go on relegation. He dodged the relegation because we all thought Everton could have go on relegation. But this season he started the Premier League and it's not actually going quite very well. And I'm going to give you a little gist about Sean Dyche. After narrowing avoiding relegation last season, Everton have yet to win a Premier League game. The only game they drew was against Sheffield United away from home just recently, the last Premier before the international break. And it looks like the fans actually they are not delighted with what they are seeing. Do you think Sean Dyche is going to maintain his job after this unhealthy performance after 4 games? So he needs time because Premier League, as we all know, about 38 games to go, but it's just after 4 games, but the pressure is on. What do you think about Sean Dyche?
Um, I'll first of all start by uh, greeting your viewers and acknowledging them for always watching us and also bringing their views on board for all of us to to discuss about football. Football is part of us, and we love to talk about it, and we love to enjoy it. You talking about the Premier League, say certain teams um should say they are not playing to win the league,
Mm-hmm.
as yes, as we all know, they play to survive, you know. And so far with Everton playing four, they've played four, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they've
Four
drew
games.
two twice, so which is
Mm.
2 points out of 4 games. Uh, I don't think Shandai is going to be sacked now. I think he's going to be given time, because he took over last season. So many were thinking that they were going to go in relegation, but he took over and he survived, which was a good thing to do. And I think it is also one of his trademarks. He can help a team to survive the relegation uh, 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 battle all the time. But playing four, drawing two, and losing two for a team like Everton is bad. But to me, it's not that bad to let go of a manager. So I think they are going to give him some time to still be on the job and probably see what they can do. I also think they have to go back to the market to to get one or two. This is what
That
I'm
will be
thinking. But
January.
yeah, for Shandais to get a sack, I don't think if it's gonna happen, then it's never gonna be this early stages because some teams are playing to survive, and looking at the teams around Everton. We are talking of Sheffield United, Luton, Town, and Burnley. Bournemouth is also in there, which I think Everton is going to do again. They are going to stay on top and survive the relegation zone. So I think it's too early to call for the manager to be sacked or anything like that. Yeah, this is what I see personally about Everton and the way things are going.
Particularly Sean Dyche, when he was in Burnley, we all know always he used to escape relegation. But Everton as a team, we all know the history. They are not, they are very, very much interested just to maintain themselves in the league. And probably last season we saw after taking over from Lampard, he actually give out a questionnaire to the players to actually fill the form for him to know the cause of the players not performing. A lot of pundits were excited with that move, but then he actually survived with the relegation. But this time round, let's see how Shona, like Kofi just said, it's not going to be like after 4 games a coach or a manager should be allowed to go. But let's see after the international break what is going to happen with Sean Dyche. For me, I think he will really do something. I don't think Everton will be able to go on relegation, be it that he stay on the job. But if they don't have that patience, probably he might be on the way out. But let's see how this is going to be. And Kofi, with the second team to actually go on, I would like to, because since they play each other in the last game before the international break, which is Sheffield United, Paul Heckingbottom. His name, I actually find it very just, so I always call him Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he drawing against Everton at home 2-2 was not just Everton first point for sure, but also Sheffield United. The manager actually lost their first 3 games in the Premier League following promotion. You know, they promoted from Championship into the Premier League, and we all know what it means to them. And going back to a Championship, it will be very, very difficult for them to actually qualify. But Paul didn't actually, for about 4 games, he only had 1 point out of the 4 games, and the pressure is mounting in Sheffield United. I don't know whether because they didn't do that much signing. We all know that promotion teams coming into the league is always very, very difficult. But currently, Paul in Sheffield United is fumbling for his job. Do you think he will be able to stay on?
You know, Paul Heckingbottom is like, you know, the if a manager is able to bring a team from the bottom and from championship and comes to the Premier League, the expectations are not so huge for him. You know, the
Mhm.
only thing he has to do is to be able to survive. You know, but then again, they are not going to find it so easy taking into fact the kind of money that various teams have spent, improve their squad and trying to stay,
Yeah.
trying to compete and all that. And looking at Sheffield United coming from the championship and all that, they did well in the championship as the others, the Burnleys and the rest. But the moment they come to the Premier League, they have to adapt. They have to improve their squad. They have to, come with good tactics and all that. You know. So whether Hackenbarton is going to go or he's going to stay is actually going to depend on how he's going to play. I am saying again, he is also going to get a little bit of time. He's going to play like 10 games, or maybe, yeah, maybe 10 games, and then they will see, oh no, maybe he's not the right person to take to take us forward or something like that. Then he's going to get his boot kicked. But I think he's going to get time, and he's going to need a lot of investment. As I keep saying, if they need a team to stay up, I think they have to go back to the market in January buy one or two players and see if he can stay up there. I keep saying certain teams in the Premier League, all they need is to stay up there and keep competing in the Premier League. This is what the fans want because they know they cannot compete with the Manchester Cities, with the Arsenals, with the Liverpools, with the Chelseas, and when you talk about these clubs, they are huge clubs with a lot of investment and a lot of money. So a team like Sheffield United coming from the Championship, I don't think they are coming to compete. They only want to stay. Any other thing is just a plus and a bonus. So I think Heckingbottom is going to get a little bit of time to do things well. I think he has also drew too. Yeah, he drew with Everton, and
Yeah, no, this he drew with Everton. That was 2-2, and that was Sheffield United first ever point in the Premier League after four games.
yeah,
Yeah, he lost the three Premier League games, the last three Premier League games uh, that he
no,
played with.
they no, no. I think they won one, drew one, lost two.
Sheffield United.
Yes, so they have
Okay,
4 points. They have 4 points. You can just verify. They have 4 points. They've
okay,
won one,
okay.
drew one, and then they've lost two. You know, they are on 4 points with Wolves, Bournemouth, and Wolves and Bournemouth. They are both on 4 points. So I don't think it's really bad. Considering the status of.
Sheffield United.
Yeah,
Check it. They have 1 point on the league table.
really.
Yes, they have lost 3 points, 4 games, haven't win anyone, just zero win. Yeah,
They have
zero
the
win.
Sheffield United rather. They have
Yes,
a
yes.
goal difference of 4.
Four.
They have 1 point.
Yeah,
They've lost 3.
they've
Oh,
lost three.
and they've drawn 1. Yeah,
Hmm. Hmm. Exactly. So
the same as
that's
Everton.
Sheffield for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's not going to get a kick out now. I think he's going to be given some time. But it all comes down to his tactics, and the trust that the board is going to give him. Can he be the man? Can he take us up? Not necessarily about climbing the table, but be there, to survive the relegation, battle that is going to go on during the latter stages of, and it all comes to the tactics and how he's going to arrange his teams. So I think
Hmm.
then again,
Hmm.
I say, in as much as they are not playing well, he's not going to get a kick out now. I think he's going to get some time because looking at the teams around, they are all struggling with 1 point, with 2 points, with 3 points. Which is very bad. And I said teams like Sheffield United, all they need from a manager is to put up a challenge to survive the relegation zone. They don't have to wait until that's late, to be able to correct things, to sack the manager, bring a new manager and stuff like that. But I think Hackenbarton is going to get a little bit time to adapt and bring results. Is what I would say.
And bring results. That's most important thing because when you are in the Premier League, the only thing you think of is results. And Heckenberg is actually looking for it. And let's see how this is going to work out because for now, he needs to be ruthless with his game. He needs to be able to psyche the players to do what he says. Because if you do it in championship, if you're able to win into Champions League, we know Sheffield United when they came into the league some time back. I think they actually maintained for some time until they relegated as well. So let's see how this is going to because it's not actually a small club for sure. And now we'll be moving into a team like Luton, Robert Edwards, another promoted manager, finding life in Premier League very, very tough at this moment. And Robert actually wanted to see better side of Premier League for sure, but it's not working. And let's see how this is going to be with the international break and fixtures. after it, will he be able to stay for sure? And or did he miss a lot of, because some of the teams actually coming in and the kind of competitors they get in their first stage actually make them scared. And do you think Luton with Edward, will he be able to stay for sure?
Uh, he has playing 3 minus 7 goals. Score. He's been scored against 9 times, and he's been
Mm-hmm.
able to score 0 points. That means he
Yeah.
lost all the 3 games. Yeah. Um, he's also testing the strength of the Premier League teams. You know, notwithstanding the fact uh, of how much all the other Premier League teams have spent to improve their teams. You know, they cannot compete financially. They cannot compete with these teams. You know, then again, as I say, the expectation is to stay up there in the league. The expectation is to stay up there in the league. And whether to convince them that he's the right man for the job is going to be how he put his team together to face the other teams, especially with all these relegation battling clubs. And having played 3 and conceded 9, scored 2, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign at all from a manager. But I still believe when the transfer window reopens, he's going to get some money to buy different players, try to improve the squad, at least one or two. These teams, they are not financially strong, but I think playing in the Premier League, they are going to get a little bit one or two to see what he can do. But I am not sure. I'm not sure he can stay on the job until January, unless things changes.
Yeah.
Because from the way he's playing, it's very risky. It's very risky. Having played 9 goals against and scored 2, it's it's really hard, and they cannot wait until further notice anymore to be sacked or something, or to tell you to say, oh, I think you need to go. We need a new person to help us stay. We were coming back just last season into the Premier League this
Yeah.
season, and going back again is going to be a bad result for Luton Town. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
so I think he's not going to survive. That is what I can say. I think they are going to put him out of the door, but he's going to get a little time. I think, as I keep saying, he's going to play like 7, 10 games, because there's still a lot to play for. So I think they will give him that much time, maybe maximum 10 games, and if it's the same, then I think he's going to walk out the door. You
Yeah.
know.
So let's see what Rob Edwards will do for Luton United for sure, but Luton Town for sure. But hey, another manager that is no stranger. He's no stranger to the sack, or to the sack list, or to the sack, is Marco Silva of Fulham. Though they have finished 10th position last season, and they would have wished to make it, maybe upgrade themselves in a little bit, but the season has been mixed for him. A massive loss to Manchester City and also Brentford. But along the line, he has been able to cope by maybe winning against Everton, and also a good point from Arsenal. But don't forget, he also eliminated Tottenham Forest from the Carabao Cup as well. And what do you think about Marco Silva in the recent days? Will he be a manager who will be part of the list, or who will be going away after some few games?
Uh, Marco Silva has done a fantastic job as Fulham. Uh, Personal views and personal understanding, he's going to stay on the job, because the kind of job he's doing, he's like, he always try to take take points from the big teams. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
when you look at the performances of West Ham, hey, sorry,
Fulham.
Fulham, at the Emirates against Arsenal. It was fantastic, and not this season alone. Last season, he nearly came out with a point from the Emirates until Gabriel, scored that late goal, and even looking at Fulham play at Manchester City, let alone that offside goal by Akanji, you know, it was very heartbroken, and that took away the strength of all the players, making Manchester City to go all out and to dominate the game. I'm not saying City weren't playing well; they are a fantastic side, the best team right now in the world. But then I think they did well. They took the game to City. They defended well until that offside goal by Akanji,
Well, yeah.
and then all of a sudden they went flat, and City from there dominated the game and then beat them. Looking at the game against Arsenal, they defended well, and then they attack with pace and power. So with Marco Silva, sure, 100% sure he's going to stay on the job, and his result here is not bad either. 1-1, drawn 1, and
One.
lost 2.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he's going to stay on the job. He need more time. I like his tactics and whatever thing that he does. Uh, I think this season, coming into the season, he lost 1 or 2 players, which is a little bit blow to him. But I think with
Mm-hmm,
time,
mm-hmm.
he's going to step. He's going to stay up there, and all teams want. These teams want is for a manager to be able to put the team together and stay up there. So I think Marco Silva is going to stay on his job, 100%. He's going to stay on the job because he's not doing a bad job. Just that these teams cannot again compete. Just as I say, with the Manchester Cities, with the Manchester United, and when you look at the teams above Fulham,
Mm-hmm,
they are the
mm-hmm.
superpowers, all the
Yeah.
superpowers, and then it comes maybe Brentford, Brighton, and then Crystal Palace. He can compete with these guys to take that spot. By looking at all these teams with Manchester City, Tottenham, Liverpool, West Ham, Arsenal, and Manchester United and Chelsea, they are superpowers. They have the money to go into the market to buy any kind of player that they want to improve their squad, which I don't see Fulham competing for now. You understand? So Marco Silva will be on the job because his tactics are good. He can still get them points to survive the relegation zone. Looking at what he's been able to do playing against Arsenal and securing point from Arsenal, and nearly took a point from Manchester City. Not this season alone. Last season against Arsenal,
Yeah.
he was able to hold City until the latter part when they got that
When
that
they got
that
that
goal.
late, yeah, yeah.
Yes. So Marco Silva, I think he's going to stay on the job, and he's going to get his job. He will stay on his job and then
Eh,
have fight
yeah.
relegation, which
Ma, ma,
isn't going to happen.
yeah. 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 Yeah, he's very good, and I like he worried big teams, and he's very
Hmm.
very look when I only put it he's not new to sacking because he has been sacking several teams like 2 or 3 teams before he got the job in Fulham, and in Fulham I think they relegated and they came back in the next season again, and now they are doing fantastic with Marco Silva. I think he's going to maintain his job for sure. And one manager I nearly forget, he's new to Premier League, but his team is not new to Premier League. That is Vincent Company. After 4 games, a lot of big clubs, namely Chelsea and also Tottenham, was actually linked to this guy because of the performance he did previously in championship, qualifying Burnley into the league. But hey, it looks like Vincent Company is lost with the 4 games, no draw, no win for Burnley. Do you think he will survive with Burnley in the Premier League?
With Vincent, it's a little bit complicated, because he's playing a kind of system that exposes him.
Yeah,
You know, he's trying to play boot for boot. You know,
yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
open up spaces, he take the ball, he play the ball. He want to dominate play. You know, and when you do that against this good Premier League teams, they will punish you. unless you are up there with the cities, the Manchester United and the Arsenal, and even big clubs like Manchester United. Sometimes when they go away to Fulham and stuff like that, sometimes they defend, you know. But Vincent is playing a kind of tactical, like he want to play football. He want his players to dominate. You know what I'm saying? He want
Mhm,
to
mhm.
take the ball to the opponent, minimize spaces, and then use the space behind, take on to play. You saw them against Manchester City. They were playing, and the
Yeah.
moment Manchester City takes the ball, they score. You know, this is the problem I've got with Vincent Company. If you want to survive in the Premier League, if you need to survive and beat relegation, you need a tactics. You don't go all out like the cities and the Arsenals and some of the big teams are doing. Even them, they do and they pay the price. Sometimes a team comes, they
Yeah.
they expose their back and they take the space and they beat them. My only problem with Vincent Company is he should adapt and change the style, get a new tactics, if not the second tactics, to help his players to at least defend a little bit and try to explore spaces, not to take the ball and play. No, you can't do this against these hungry Premier League teams. If Burnley is playing against Bournemouth can decide to, let's wait. They will
Let's
make a
wait.
mistake and we punish them. And
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
the style of play that Vincent want to play, and it's very dangerous to him. This is why he's played 3 games, considered considered 11 goals and scored 3 goals. That is minus 8. So it's very hard for Vincent at this time. Very very hard considering the kind of football that he's playing. He wants to play the fine ball thing, which I think he should change his tactics, go back, you know, make some corrections and then come back. This is why I always believe it's off guard, but I have to say this. I always believe in Mikel Arteta and what he does.
Mhm.
I'm a number one fan. He always says you cannot you cannot use the same tactics to play in the Premier League and be successful. Teams are going to
Yeah.
cut you out, teams are going to study you, and teams are going to play you out. This system that Vincent Company is using is a system that has been used by Pep Guardiola, and he does it so well. He does it so well, and the Premier League teams are aware of what Manchester City are doing, are aware of what Arsenal are doing. Just that they cannot stop them. They are powerhouse. So Vincent, if you want to adapt to this style of play, then you need to adapt well. I'm sorry. He has to come back and change his status, try to defend more, and do what the smaller clubs do. This is the job for you, whether you like it or not. This is Burnley. They cannot be like Manchester City or Canada. You have to defend. He did a fantastic job at championship, winning, majority of the games, playing fine football, getting all the points. But I'm sorry, you cannot play this. You cannot use the same tactics here. You know, in the Premier League. He's been a player in the Premier League for so long, playing for one of the best club, no, the best club in Europe and in the world right now. But I think he has to go back to the drawing board, study, come back and change things. As for time, they believe in him. He's going to get a little bit of time, but the earlier the better.
A lot of people were saying like because he did perform or he was under Pep Guardiola, and so they actually expected him to play that kind of football. But in Premier League, as you said, you don't go all out. You don't even big clubs. Majority of them, there are some games they don't go all out. If you go all out, they punish you like the way they punish Nottingham Forest punished Chelsea in the last game. You go all out. There are spaces they will exploit. There are counter attacks they will exploit. And now Vincent Company need to learn if he wants to stay in Burnley with them to the next stage of Premier League. He needs to change his tactics. It's not every game that I understand if you are playing a team like let's say Luton, because you came from them from the championship. He came with them from the championship, so maybe you already know what they are about. So you can go all out with those kind of, because if they hurt you, you will also hurt by, and at the end of the day, you get your 3 points. So with Visenko, I
No,
think
no, no, no.
changing
Even
his
if for instance, if the Luton coach learn on the job and know how Premier League teams play. And Vincent goes to Luton and play like this, they'll punish him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
this is what the Premier League teams do. They don't come onto you. They wait for a mistake and punish you. The Premier League has been like this for so many times. They play long balls. They put the balls at your back. So if you put the ball on the ground and try to play, they are always alert on what to do. They'll put the ball at the back of you and punish you. And for instance, if Vincent goes to Luton and want to play like this, and the Luton manager has sat down and said, no, I have to calm down. I have to let my players, chill, just relax and wait for him to make a mistake. He will still take that 3 points away from you, you know.
It's
And
true.
he's not losing these games because he's not playing well. He's playing well, but I think his inexperience in the Premier League is costing him a lot of games. He's played in the league for so many times, even have more experience than Mikel Arteta and the rest. But he's trying to play like when Lampard came, you know, he want to dominate play.
Yeah, dominate.
He
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
dominate play. You can't do that in the Premier League. Teams will punish you. So you have to wait, relax, and see what you can do. You sometimes have to also capitalize on the mistakes of an opponent to punish them. You don't always have to, be hungry for the ball, taste the ball, make your players feel like they are the best in the world and all that. No, with the Premier League, I'm sorry, they'll punish you. That is why Mikel Arteta says that if you go to England and you want to take a cab, a black cab or a taxi, and you
Mm,
ask a taxi driver, I want to get to the airport, for instance, how will I get there? The person that has stayed in England for so many years will be able to use different tactics to get to airport, while the person who's just started a year or so will drive through one route and get to
that's
airport,
true.
which is going to delay you. You know, so experience in the Premier League is very important, but you have to do the right things at the right time.
Yeah, you have to do the right thing at the right time. Kofi, the
Yeah.
powerhouse of Manchester United, Erik ten Hag is not going well with Erik ten Hag at all. 4 games, 2 wins, 2 losses, and Jadon Sancho, he has an issue with Jadon Sancho in addition to that. And I think most of the players might not also be happy. Is it the tactics currently, or Erik ten Hag is overthinking? Or would he also stay or leave with this job currently?
I'm not the best person to talk about this. A Manchester United fan, is. I am only concerned about my Mikel Arteta and what he's doing and how much I trust him and how much I believe in him.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I wish K would have been here to answer
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
question.
yeah. He tries to say things that usually I don't agree with him. But then
Yeah,
he's a Manchester United fan.
yeah,
He's been supporting the club for so many years. Whilst I'm following Arsenal, he will be following Manchester United. So he knows more of what Manchester United is doing than I do. But then again, I say there's pressure on Ten Hag, and the pressure comes with his away performances. He's played 14 games, lost 13 games, and drew one.
yeah.
That is appalling for a big club. Not good at all. And to me, I think his away performances are getting to him. You know, anytime he goes away, he wants to just play that kind of a small club tactics. He
Yeah,
want to he want to just sit
yeah,
and
waiting for
go
counter. Mhm.
and wait for counter and play counter attacking games. You are Manchester United. Play football. Be part of the game. Dominate play. You understand? The last time I
Mhm.
was watching them against Arsenal, I kept telling K, they did absolutely
I,
nothing.
I was really disappointed with Manchester United on that game. I was
They
really
went with the
disappointed.
tactics. They went with the tactics. But then their first goal, a mistake from Havertz, a poor pass into the middle of the pack.
Yeah,
That is very dangerous and almost resulted to a goal. He was waiting again on a mistake from Arsenal to punish us, which we did. But Gabriel, being so brilliant, was able to, make that to be an offside. So Ten Hag's away records, I think, is getting to his head. He's thinking, what can I do to get result, away? Because playing 13 games and losing for the past 15 games or 14 games, playing 14 games, losing 13, drawing one, it's bad.
Yeah.
But the words that I will use for coach like Erik Ten Hag. I come again to whether he's going to get a sack or not. I don't think he's going to get a sack. They are going to still give him some time, because looking out there, there's no better manager that can do the job. Remember, Manchester United have sacked so many coaches. If not 3, I can count. Mourinho, Van Gaal, a lot. They all go and they talk. They say the problems that Manchester United is facing is not about the manager. It goes beyond the managerial role. And I think Manchester United have to, because it's a traditional club being taken over by the Glazers. They have to sit down and put things right and make sure at least they climb out there. Making it to the Champions League spot last season wasn't a bad result, which I think United fans will be happy with. And I think they are going to give him time. He's not going to get a sack, but he shouldn't overthink. He should do the basic thing. Why did you bring Onana in? You brought Onana so that you will be able to play from the back. Or maybe you'll be able to, dominate play. Play 1 or 2 passes from the back, push the ball to your midfielder or to your wide players, come in, take the play. But then after bringing Onana, you are still playing this kind of games and tactics that you used to know. You sit back. Onana is not that type of a goalkeeper. He's not that type of a player.
Yeah.
He likes to play from the back. He likes to, dominate play. And if you saw them against Arsenal, they were only playing from the back, doing nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4 passes, and then they give the ball away. I'm sorry, Manchester United, that is not good enough. But I'm not going to point fingers on Erik Ten Hag. I think he's trying his best. But the problems with Manchester United goes beyond Ten Hag. And no other coach out there can do the job. We've seen so many of them. Mourinho, Gaal, this former
Van
player.
Gaal.
Yeah, Van Gaal and their former player. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
So the problem goes beyond the managers. So I think they have to. I think the fans and the people in Manchester United, I know it's a traditional club, they should sit down and talk about it proper and know what they can do. But sacking the manager, it isn't going to solve the problem. Trust me. It isn't at all.
It isn't going to solve the problem. We come back to Chelsea as our last season. Mauricio Pochettino.
But then we have to talk about this guy, Ten Hag and Sancho.
Sancho, yes. I actually blend it together. Yeah, before we go for Chelsea.
I forgot to talk about it. And
the situation, is it from Sancho or Van Gaal, or what's your point or your view on the two?
I don't know. Is it again the manager trying to scapegoat someone? Because he does that, with Ronaldo, with some players that we know, with Sancho as well, and letting Fred leave, knowing so well that you are not going to get a replacement. But with Sancho's managers, some managers does that. It's a simple question put to him, and he a simple answer. We are looking at the people at their best at training. He's not putting in his best at training and so on and so forth. Sancho, to me, as a player, you don't have to reply or say anything. The manager is saying your performances at the training grounds is not good enough. They bought you for over 100 million euros from Dortmund. You were doing superbly well, playing fantastic football. Since he joined Manchester United, I've never seen that Sancho kind of a guy. He's lost confidence. He cannot hold on to football. He cannot even do his normal thing that he does. I don't know what is going on at the moment.
So
But
well, let me come in. So the coach coming out to speak, like, for with Sancho not performing in the training ground, wouldn't it be right if he had called him in, then they have one-on-one talks, then coming out to media? Maybe Sancho is also feeling that he might be a scapegoat. There, United have that kind of issue. There is same reason why Ronaldo also came out to speak about you. Is it not the same scenario that is going on?
this is what I'm saying. This is what is going on. I am not trying to say Ten Hag is trying to weigh his frustrations on the players. No.
Mm,
I think he's expecting more from Jadon Sancho. And trust me, these managers, they know what they do. They know what they are doing. Sometimes when they come today, they talk about something, then it means they've been saying backdoor for so many times. I don't think he's trying to scapegoat someone as he did in the previous years, because this time there's no pressure on him from the media saying Sancho is weak just like Ronaldo's and he has to bench him to play people that are strong and stuff like that. But I went, I read about something and I was listening to this guys, and they said uh, it's about Sancho. He want to play from the left, you know. Sancho want to play
mhm,
from the left, and right now, looking at Manchester United, Garnacho is ahead of Sancho. Rashford is ahead of Sancho. They have so many good players that can play from the right. And from what is going on, Sancho is insisting on playing from the right hand side. And Ten Hag is saying, no, you have to keep your training distance up. You have to adapt to positions and see what you can do for yourself. If you say you want to play on the
so
right on the left hand side, that is on the
mm,
left hand side, now, there are so many players that are better than you. So compete, Anthony, on the right hand side and see what you can do. But Sancho is insistent. That is what I read from the inside and listening to, these Manchester United,
yeah.
panelists and stuff. But Sancho is insistent on playing from the left. Wait now, we have so many players ahead of you. Talk of Garnacho, an excellent player. Talk of Marcus Rashford. He can punish anything at any given time, which you will not be able to do that. So I think this is what is going on. And the manager came out and says, you are not doing this, you are not doing that. As a player, as a football player, all you have to do, just don't talk, do what you have to do. Keep the hard work up, keep training, keep doing the good things that you, and always get the chance from the manager. But from this, one of the Manchester United men said, had it been, I think Ben Foster, former Manchester United goalkeeper, he said
Mm,
something like, had it been with Sir Alex Ferguson, that would have been done, because you don't go public and you don't respond. Do
respond,
your
yeah.
thing, yes, on the field, and try to convince the manager that you are the good
Okay.
boy for the team.
And
You know,
trying to convince them. And let me acknowledge this, my best friend. It's been long time. Officer Tommy is here. He said the first manager is going to get sacked is Company. So Company is the first manager to get sacked. And we already discussed about Company. If he doesn't actually change his tactics, it's going to be war on him as well. So he also said already terrible results and losing 5-2 to Spurs is crazy. And Officer Tommy also said Garnacho can't play as starter. He has to be a sub. So as he's a Manchester United
yeah,
fan as well, and
yeah, yeah.
Officer Tom, you miss K is Manchester United fan, but due to some one or two reason, he has not been. He's not in for sure, but maybe he will be join us. But now we will be
Let
moving
me let
to
me let me say, sorry to interrupt. Let me say something to Officer K. Officer K, I
Officer
acknowledge
Tommy.
your presence.
Tommy.
Officer Tommy, yeah, Officer
Mm,
Tommy. I'm using case
mm,
name. Yeah, I acknowledge your presence. On our platform. Trying to share your view and all that. Greetings from here to you and wherever you are. I I
yeah.
I, I heard that you're a Manchester United fan. Okay, yeah, but I'm trying to make my point clear to Officer. Garnacho is a sub. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, right now, for instance, if Ten Hag takes Rashford out, you know, for someone to come in and replace him at the left hand side, definitely it's not going to be Sancho. It's going to be Garnacho because he's ahead of you. You understand? So this is what I'm saying, that he's a he's a brilliant sub. He can come on the game and change the game at any given time. Sometimes Ten Hag wouldn't mind to start him, but I'm talking playing from the left hand side. There are players ahead of Sancho, as we all see. Sancho is not the kind of player that we used to know from Dortmund. He's dropped. He's dropped, not a little bit, but he's dropped. So, yeah, this is the point that I was trying to make. That Sancho should just tie his laces, put his shoes on, and tell the manager, "I can do it." This is it.
Okay. So Mauricio Pochettino at Chelsea is kind of also a mix up, actually, and it's not looking that great as Chelsea fans expected because there's a lot of uh, money being spent and the results is not looking great. But Mauricio Pochettino as Chelsea manager did call to patience that they need to be patient after Chelsea lost for the second time in fourth Premier League game. Ilanga, who scored the goal for Nottingham Forest in the second half, but he calls that he should understand that, according to Pochettino, that we are building something and it is always up and down. So, did you agree with him, or the fans have the right? But before you move on, Officer Tommy also came on and said, Officer Tommy said, we lost Sancho and now we lost Anthony. And he also made mention that it's not Poch fault. The strikers can't finish their their life, or maybe they can't score. That's what he's actually, strikers cannot score, so it's not Pochettino fault. So do you think Pochettino is right to say that, or that should we give him the benefit of doubt to stay on? Because Pochettino, he calls to patience and building a team like Chelsea caliber right now. There's ups and downs.
Pochettino's job is a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough one. I was listening to him, one of these backdoors interview, and he made mention of a player that was signed to the club and he was not consulted and all that. He wake up the next day and realize I just have signed this player. So trust me, it's very tough when you have so many players. I would say quality players as well from different backgrounds coming together for the first time, and trying to put things together. It's not a joke. I made mention when the season started. A lot of you guys were bashing me for saying Chelsea are not going to play fantastic in the league and all that. Looking at them and
Yeah.
the style of play, they all the players, talking of Jackson, talking of Sterling, talking of Modric, talking of you know whomever is in there, likes to run with the ball. You understand? And when you have these kind of players, there's only one formation that you can play because they all like to run with the ball. They don't have
Yeah.
patience to hold on to play, to look for that spaces, to dominate the games. They all want to run with the ball. And when you have players like this, you have to change your tactics to suit their style of play. This at the moment is what Pochettino is trying to do. And we all know what Pochettino can do. He's a fantastic coach. He took Tottenham from nowhere and made them Tottenham, made them a bigger club. So he can do the job. He needs a little bit of patience to put the boys together and make some push some out and get a squad. He need a
But
squad.
but we didn't ask that much. We only asking to qualify to Champions League. Qualifiers to we need Champions League football as Chelsea club. And Officer Tommy is also saying then Hank won't get sacked. I mean, he just won our first trophy since 2017 Europa League final. The Glazers are what and
Yeah.
what, but not that stupid. That's what Officer Tommy is saying. But then Chelsea, we just asked Pochettino for Champions League football because Chelsea, as a club of this nature, being out of Champions League is like a big deal to us. And Officer Tommy also said, ask Todd Bowley not to spend a lot of money.
Oh my God.
Now we should ask Todd Bowley not to spend big,
To
but we also are.
spending money anyhow.
No, but one thing they don't realize it, the kind of players we allow to go. And we need to bring in this kind of, that's what they don't see. They don't see the players we release to go. They only see our spending in. That's the fault. I don't know whether it's the media that do not communicate well or it's
No,
the club that.
no, no. You have spent a lot. I have the chats on my phone. This kind of particular phone that I'm using.
That's what I'm
I would have
saying. You
yeah.
see, one thing you should understand, most of the players that go, they are academy.
Yeah.
So if you release players, match players to go, you have much to spend. And
They've
unlike
spent
this
a
is,
lot. They've
yeah.
spent a lot. They've spent a lot.
And
And I think they are not doing the business wisely. You want everything to work just like that. Bolly thinks he buys this, and then yeah, he took a private jet to Ukraine to get Mikhailo Modric, and it hasn't worked out. He's been a flop, So it doesn't always work like that. You have to see the potential of the player, what the player can bring to your team before you follow the player. Looking at the teams, you just don't have to buy. You look out for the weaker spot in your team, and then you spend the money. Bolly want to buy everyone. He just, I learned there's a player in Nigeria who is even a restaurant attendant,
oh
and he
God.
want to sign. That is so.
So
You are giving the coaches a heck
Ed,
of a job. A heck.
Edward, yeah, let me go with this comment before
Okay.
you. Edward, Eddie said, with this performance from Chelsea, if they keep it up, they will miss the Champions League spot again this season. And Officer Tommy also said, and also Ateta might get sacked of Kai Havertz for
Oh
finishing.
my
So you
God!
are
No,
Arsenal
no,
fan.
no,
You see,
no,
now it's
no, no,
coming to
no,
you.
no, no, no. Officer Tommy, no. But first, before addressing this issue, there's a Chelsea guy who said something.
No, he's not Chelsea. He's Manchester United fan. Eddie, he said, is here. He said, with the performance from Chelsea, if they keep it up, they will miss the Champions League spot again this season. He's also Manchester United fan.
Okay, maybe that's why he's saying that. But okay, the Chelsea, they are not in any European league right now, and I think this comment is making me laugh with that Teta sack stuff, No, you let me address the Chelsea stuff,
Okay.
I think Pochettino will come good. Pochettino will come good, and he will put the boys together, and he will do the right thing. I think he needs time. He needs time, and I think Chelsea, because they are not in any European league and stuff like that, they have the squad that they can do the changes and all that. And Pochettino is also a good coach, so we should just we should give him the benefit of the doubt. I personally think he will make it into the Champions League spot. Tottenham and what they are doing is just a fallacy,
Okay.
Trust me, it's just a fallacy because they don't have the squad. You cannot bring all these new players and something is working for you, so you think that's it. You are good to go. No, trust me, no. But I think Chelsea with Pochettino factor, he knows the Premier League better. He's also got the experience to do it. So I think he will be up there with the boys. And then
Officer Tommy comment with Ateta and Kai Havertz for finishing.
oh no. Yeah. I agree with him if he says Kai Havertz have to be benched, But Ateta is trying to prove a point that he can bring Havertz to be better, But I'm sorry, I don't usually go after players, but Havertz isn't good enough, and I think his confidence is gone. I watched the whole of Germany game against Japan, and he was poor during the second half. He had a touch, and then was substituted in the 70-something minutes. He is poor, So I think he need to bench him and do what he does. But I think Arteta is trying to use him due to the injury that Gabriel Jesus had. That is why he's slotted him in, giving him a chance to to play, to the extent that they asked him, how do you give a chance? And he made a comment about how he met his wife and how difficult it is to convince his wife. And once he was able to convince his wife, everything was beautiful. So in a way, he was trying to tell Havertz that things are going to be difficult, but he should keep going. But then again, I think Ateta himself do not have the time to give to Havertz. So Officer Tommy, I think Havertz, but for Ateta being sacked, I'm sorry, he's our own. We love him. We support him. We trust him. We trust everything that he's doing. And he's the best right now out there that we can get. So I'm sorry, Officer Tommy.
Okay,
He's never going to
so
get a sack.
Officer
Yeah.
Tommy also made mention of Kai Havertz is only popular for the City versus Chelsea goal in Champions League finals. Absolutely. Absolutely. That one, I second that, because since then, we've not seen that massive performance from him. Balance also said Chelsea will make it to Champions League. Yeah, definitely. We hope so. And also, Officer Thomas said, look at Achilles Sports. He doesn't want to listen to Kai Havertz. Look to his phone. No, Officer Tommy, probably the problem is Kai Havertz. I actually expected him to perform very well in Chelsea. It wasn't working. And moving away from Chelsea to Arsenal, I thought maybe the momentum would have come, but yet he still hasn't get his feet in Premier League, because Bundesliga he was actually one of the stars in Bundesliga.
Outstanding. It was an
But
outstanding
then
player.
things aren't working very much. Our time actually elapsed, and I want us to sum because we know it's all. I want us to summarize the international games, because we'll talk about England, Ukraine, and also Japan,
Germany.
German, and also Ghana versus Central African Republic. So I think we just need to summarize it, and then probably we'll call it a day. So which one would you like to actually go with first?
uh, we have a lot to talk about, but let's start with
Okay,
the
no,
England
if
Ukraine.
if you think, because we still have, I'm just worried about your own time.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. Uh, the England Ukraine game, I don't know, but I don't want to talk about England so much because they believe in what Southgate is doing. But if you look at the,
But what did you believe in what Southgate is doing? Gareth is doing. What did you believe?
you know, I think Southgate has a soft spot for some players, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that is going to bring him down. He has to be ruthless. He has to be ruthless. You can't keep on playing Harry Maguire when you have one of the best defenders in the league. You know, and you keep on trusting this
Yeah.
Harry Maguire who keeps letting you down. I was analyzing the game this morning, behind camera to you, and I said the goal that was scored, the equalizer, came from Maguire. You know,
Yeah.
he doesn't know what he's doing on the field. I'm sorry. I am not the kind of player that speaks against. I'm not the kind of person that speaks against players. But Maguire for now is not doing the job. He's not doing the job, and I think Southgate has to drop him and look for more younger people that can do the job better. He has some good defenders, and I'm not saying this because I'm an Arsenal fan. You have Ben White and others, Tomori, you have Gueye, and they can do the job. So I think he should just care that his top spot thing for players and let people that can, take the game to open and defend well play. You know, that again, I'm not saying that Ukraine were that bad, but I think they were not that good to hold on to be able to hold England. I think Southgate has to sit down, do some one or two corrections, and come back again. If he keeps playing like this, I am sorry, things are going to be tough for him in the coming 2024 Euros. This is what I'll say.
Yeah.
And with the Ukrainians, kudos to them. They played well. They hold on to play. They relax and try to punish England on the counter attacks, which they did very well and got a point out of the game. So yeah, it was a good game. I watched the game. knowing so well that one of my boy was playing. you know, Sishenko, he dominated play. He relaxed on the ball, gave through passes, and he did everything, which I was a little bit disappointed in Mikhailo Modric. Then again from Chelsea, just running the ball and running off, So it was a good game, and I watched it. Perfect.
Wow. So for me, I think England. Let me go through these comments before I. Offset Tommy said, for me, one of the best manager, Jose Mourinho, has already completed football. Yeah. And another one coming from Offset Tommy said, I disagree. Maguire for England is Lord Maguire. Did you see his performance of a performance? And another one from Officer Tommy said, my guy is Arsenal fan. Yes, he's Arsenal fan. How many
Oh, come
Champions Leagues
on.
you won?
Oh, come on.
Did that? Okay. So another one, Arsenal no Champions League or UEFA league. But then now we are talking about England.
Officer Tommy want to get some. You want to tease me, yeah? But now I'm a football fan. I'm an Arsenal fan, and these things, they are for the kid fans. I'm a Papa fan. I'm a fan. So
Okay.
tell Officer Tommy, there's time for everything. Probably we will get there. You know.
Okay, so well,
Mm.
but England for sure. I was
Yeah.
actually disappointed in the performance because look at the
Yeah.
caliber of players Gareth Southgate has at his disposal. You
Yeah.
know, and you control midfield. I think they were too sure of themselves. Overconfidence actually made them because look at the play. At first, the beginning, Ukrainians were actually holding them. They were owning the possession, thinking maybe they will get spaces to actually get the goal, but it didn't work out. When they open up, thinking, oh, let's open up, we'll be able to get that. When Zinchenko, what a guy! He's just
What's a player?
a utility player from
What's a player?
midfield.
Shevchenko. What's a player?
Wow.
What's a player?
And the goal he scored was actually outside. I actually admire the way they work it, not even the way he scored it, but the
Yeah.
way they work the goal and were able to
Yeah.
get it at the back of the net. And look at the
Yeah.
midfield with what was it? Your midfielder, Rice,
Yeah.
Madison,
Yeah.
and Judy Bellingham. It
Jupiler.
could not,
Yeah.
yeah, it could not actually work for Ukraine, and they had to share points with. I actually did not, even though with their confidence, they are still leading the table with 13 points, and I think they will actually qualify. But
Oh yes, of course.
I actually didn't even. And Gareth Southgate at the end of the game, the mistake I actually see was removing Bellingham and leaving Henderson at the pitch. I actually did not even calling Henderson. I didn't actually like that because you said Raheem Sterling lose form, you bench him, you didn't actually even call him in there, and then you call someone like Henderson to actually start him to complete the game. I think with this, I wasn't actually comfortable with that. I don't know, but let's see. With Officer Somi also said, also best Turkish club in the world is Fenerbahce. Yeah, Fenerbahce is an old that we know how they have, and they need to come back as the olden days. But now let's see what is going to happen with Fenerbahce. So how about
Germany.
Germany, Japan?
you know, with Germany, they are one of the superpowers when it comes to football. They've done a lot in football, and I think at the moment it's not working for them. Right from the World Cup, I said point blank that they should kick Hans Flick out. That is the only way. The players are not playing for him. He's got no tactics. He's, you know, I don't want to talk much about Germany because they have the squad. They have the young boys. They have the experienced players. They have everything to be a success. But I think Hans Flick is not a guy for me. I was hoping to waking up today to see the news. Hans Flick kicked out, but then I think he still got his job, and that is one thing about the Germans. if they give you a job, it is very difficult for them to take from you. But I think for the future of German football, they have to just kick Hans Flick out. He's not doing enough. He doesn't know what he's doing, and I think one of the guys saying Germany team is done. It's not done. I think they just have to, bring in a different coach, push aside Hans Flick. He's done fantastically well. This is it. This is your time. Okay, rest, relax for us. We bring in another person who's going to give more chances to the young boys, and see change tactics and see what he can do with the German team. This is what I'm saying, because being beaten by Japan 4 goals to 1 is a disgrace. It's a no match for me. It shouldn't happen. And looking at the game that they played yesterday, it was poor. I watched Kai Havertz again. Oh my God, this guy is not good enough. I'm sorry, and he's going to have some problems when a new coach is being appointed and he comes into the German side. You have fantastic players. I understand Musiala was injured, but you still have some good and quality players. Yesterday they introduced a
Mhm.
young guy called Shadi. He's a fantastic player on the ball. You have Gnabry, you have Sani, you have good players. Your midfielder, you have an experienced Gundogan, you have Rudiger and Co at the back. What is going on? These are equally good players, and I think with good management, they will come back. The problem with Germany is Hans Flick. This is what I'm saying. I said this right after the World Cup, before the World Cup, right after the World Cup. These international games qualification, I will keep saying it until Hans Flick is out of the door. Germany is done. It's done. And when they keep Hans Flick, it's going to be a disgrace in this coming Euros. That is it. I don't have anything to say because they've got a player, they've got a squad. Blind with experience and young. I understand Musiala was injured, but being beaten by Japan 4 goals to 1 at Wolfsburg here in Germany is uncalled for, and he has to be sacked. I will say this and I'll keep saying this. They don't have any problem. I think Hans Flick is not good enough to stay on the job, and he has to go. That's it.
So Eddie said German national team is done. You said no, it's not done yet unless Flinks is actually or maybe if he give away the job or they sacked him. Now, Officer Tommy also said, I think Man United versus Brighton is going to be tough. Ansu Fati possible derby. Yeah, Ansu Fati will be there. I don't know whether they will use him as well. Officer Thomas said, but I don't understand is friendly game why you sack the guy for
No,
friendly games.
no, Officer Tommy,
No,
like, let me respond to Officer Tommy here. I said I made my point from uh, the World Cup, before the World
yeah,
Cup,
World
the
Cup.
World Cup, prior to friendly games, and the coming Euros in next year, 2024, which is going to be hosted here in Germany. Do you understand? This is what I'm saying. And if we keep on like this, we will sit home and be disgraced because Hans Flick is not the man for the job. He's got no tactics. The boys are just playing, no tactics. Do you understand?
So
They just play the ball around. I watched them. I watched from the beginning to the end of the game yesterday, and I was so much disappointed in what Germany were doing. There was no tactics. They were just playing the ball around, around, around. It goes to the side. They play the ball in, and it's cleared. They take the ball, they run at them, and they score. You know, so, and these problems, I'm not saying, I'm not pinpointing the players out. The players are good enough. We have some young players, Musiala, the Shadis, the Sanis, the Gnabrys. We have an experienced player like Muller on one-on-one. He can just come on and turn the game. We have captain of the side, Gundogan. They are not bad players. We have this player, Rudiger, who is playing for Real Madrid
mm,
and dictating the pace at the Real Madrid. He is the main chef at Real Madrid defense. Sometimes he plays, sometimes Militao comes in, but he is not that bad.
but
You
no,
have the squad.
I actually like him. Yeah, very
You
much.
understand? You have the squad. And Officer Tommy, I'll say this again and I'll keep saying this. It is not, I'm not saying they should sack him based on these friendly games. No, it was prior to the World Cup, after the World Cup, the games that we have played, and now heading into the Euros. I'm sorry, if we keep on like this, we cannot beat any team in Europe right now. It's very difficult. And I think Flick should get a sack. I'm saying this. I am not saying this just as I kept explaining myself to people that I met and people that I've talked to. He has to get a sack, bring a new coach who will be able to put a squad together introduce new tactics. This is Germany, the best of the best. You can't keep doing this. I'm sorry, but he has to get us up.
So Tabir Edward Eddie said it is not a surprise anymore when Germany loses a game. Their regime is over. And
No, no, nothing can be over. It's football. Sometimes seasons comes, you drop off, you pick your guns again, and then you come up. You understand? So this is it. It can never be over. You understand? They will still compete. They will still be there with the top boys, and they are still going to play. So no doubt about it. Their regime for now is not working. They are down. What I think happens to a lot of teams, a lot of the best teams out there. They will come back, they'll put things together, they'll get a new coach in and try to put things together, and then they will be firehouse again. No doubt about that. They will do it again. Yeah, sure. But they are not done.
okay, okay. So for me, I think Hanflix, we all know him when he was in Munich. He did, like, he has done fantastic work with the Bundesliga. And I just feel like the players are not happy with him because yesterday game you look at, they don't even run. They look at
Yeah,
even the goal. They don't
yeah,
even run for
yeah,
balls.
yeah.
So I think
Yes.
maybe the players are not happy with him, and it's better
Yeah,
the federation or maybe the FA they
yeah,
actually find out this and be able to get
yeah,
him out earlier. Than Other than that, things will go, because if you are hosting the Euros and you are out of group stages, it's going to be
yeah,
very, very disappointment
yeah,
to the team, because we all know what German stands for when it comes to world football. Tiki
yeah,
taka, counter attack, like possessive football, they actually
yeah,
formulated, and we all know what they can do in a brighter day. These players are not kids, they are not actually small players. Like some of them play Real Madrid, Arsenal, Chelsea. Like look at Bayern Munich themselves. And I think maybe something is happening that they are not actually happy with. So Officer Tommy said, hate me all, you hate me all you want, but Ronaldo is gonna win the World Cup in 2026. Another one coming from him also said, also, can we also, how does McTominay have 6 goals in the Euro 2024 qualification? Well, McTominay having 6 goals in the Euro, and another one from September said, I mean, Hans Flick is literally got the terrible for Bayern Munich. So you will be like, let's get him for German, but hey, but now it's bad. Okay, he was good in Munich, but then German got him as a national team, but it's not actually going very perfect for German right now. So aside from that, let's move to Ghana game against
my beloved
because that will be
country
our
is reign
last
forever. I love Ghana. I
that
love
will
Ghana.
be our
Yeah,
last discussion, our last
yeah,
team, our national team to actually talk about. Ghana
yeah.
hosted Central African Republic, and it was 2-1. I actually didn't like it when they even allowed Central Republic to actually go ahead with Ghana before coming back into the game. But then my expectation didn't meet up. Even though Ghana win and qualify to the African Cup of Nations next year. What's your take on that game, Kofi?
I watched the game, but not all because I had certain things to do. So I had to leave and then uh, come back later and watch the highlights. And
Okay,
we
is
won the game due to individual brilliance also, with Kudus and one or two players that are playing good for the national team. But I don't
mhm.
think we have the team and we have the squad. For the squad we have, but I don't think we have the team. I think there's so much going on behind doors that you and I don't know. A whole lot of this, that. But then I believe in Houghton. Maybe he can. I believe in what he can do, because he's been a manager at the EPL, for a long time. He knows what quality is. He knows how to put a team together to compete. So to me, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. The mistake I think we did was which I will keep bashing Ghana for, was bringing Otuado as an interim head coach or something, and then
Mm.
giving him the coaching role to for that short period, and then bringing no that I never agreed with the Ghana Football Association stuff like that. But then now we are in a new era under Houghton. Let's see what he can do. I believe in him. I trust in what he's doing, trying to bring the young boys together. Some are saying he's got no tactics, is that, is that, is that. But we should give him the benefit of the doubt because most of the boys that he's calling up are new to the system. He's trying to, put the old guys somewhere and, bring up a team to, to go for the competition. And after the game, I think Central African Republic manager said something like, "It's going to be like this, like our results in the coming African Championship is going to be the same. Nothing is going to change. Looking at the way he's playing, but the Ghanaians are saying he's placed a curse on us. I'm sorry, we did not do anything to him for him to be able to place a curse on a nation like Ghana. So for that they should stop talking about it. He never said anything. He never placed a curse in the first place. He cannot place a curse on Ghana. We've not done anything wrong to him. Even if we have or we had, he cannot place a curse on Ghana. So I think yeah, we should give Houston the benefit of the doubt and allow him to, put his squad together and challenge. I think it's going to be better because I trust in the little boys like Kudus, the Niames. Inaki is not playing well. I still trust in him. Thomas Partey is still coming back into the team with Jordan Ayew and what he's doing right now for Crystal Palace. And then our fantastic captain of the side, Andy Dede Ayew. People are
There
bashing
you.
him. He's not playing well, but being in the team is good because it's going to be like an Asamoah figure. Talk to the young boys. Hey, this is Blasters. We don't joke here. We don't do this. We don't do this. So he should be in the team. I don't agree with people saying, "No, he's always in the brother. They should kick him out." And that. No, he should be in the team to be able to, organize the young ones and tell them, "Hey, my friend, this is Blasters. We do the right thing here, and we are always obliged to win." That's it. Welcome, K.
K is looking good. Don't you see that?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you. Maybe it's because
Probably.
I've trimmed my beard.
Ah,
Uh,
maybe
so
he's always
we we
looking happy.
we yeah,
Yeah, I'm a happy guy.
we were almost just finishing when you came on. So we are on Ghana
Mm,
game, and before you go for
mm,
Ghana game, there was a question I asked
mm-hmm.
Kofi, but he could not. He told me that question is mainly for you because it was United, and we had
Hey,
like more than two United fans also was watching it in. But for sure, everyone understand that Chelsea will qualify for Champions League.
yeah.
Erik Ten Hag
Mm-hmm.
last season was so good for Manchester United. This season, 2 games win, 2 games lost after 4 games in Premier League. And with Jadon Sancho, just briefly, and then go to Ghana game against Central Republic before we just close, because you also have a little time.
First of all, Mami Chia were here for because they've been fantastic. They always spend time with
Typical
you.
Asante
So
boy, P
yeah,
boy.
yeah. So first of all, Mami Chia were here for. Um, Talking of Erik Ten Hag and United, this season I think it's a bit too early for us to pass judgments around. You understand? Because last season we lost. I think we lost our first 2 matches, right? And then we end up being third on the Premier League. So I think it's too early to be talking about where he's going to be placed on the league table after the league has ended. And then David Sancho, Jadon, I don't know what is wrong with these English players. They have a big ego, and we all know that. They think, especially when they are playing at home, a club from England, they think, I don't know whether they own the club or something. I don't know. But it's typically with English players. They always have this press hype around them. even though they may not be good enough, but because of the hype around them, it gives them this sort of, we are like the Messis and the Ronaldos. It's totally mental thing. You understand? If you've really watched Jadon Sancho this season, he's not doing anything.
But
You
this
understand?
season, you before you move, but this season he's not also given the opportunity to perform because he has been coming off bench. How many games has he
You know,
started?
coaches base their selection on the
Mhm.
training grounds. The training, like the effort you put in on the training grounds, that is where you get to be selected. If you understand what I'm saying. So if you are not doing anything in the training ground, it means that you are not going to be selected. And that is exactly what is happening to Jadon Sancho. He doesn't understand. Look, remember we bought Van de Beek. Van de Beek was very instrumental in that Ajax team. And Van de Beek is not getting playing time in United under the manager that managed him at Ajax. You understand? So basically, there's something wrong there. If you get what I'm saying. So Jadon Sancho feels like, hey, I'm English, I'm playing at home, I'm playing for Manchester United, and you can't treat me like that. Just give me playing time and I can prove myself. No, it doesn't work like that. United is too big for that.
So don't you think Erik
Mhm.
Ten Hag is also using him as scapegoat like he used Ronaldo last season? Because the situation between them, don't you think he could have been the one like call him on board? Let's speak one on one, sort of coming out to talk about him on the media.
Hello?
He's having fun. Yeah. Did you
Can you
hear
hear
what
me?
I? Yeah, I can hear you
Yeah,
now. But did you heard what
yeah,
my question
yeah,
was? I said, don't you
yeah.
think Erik Ten Hag is using? Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Don't you think Erik Ten Hag is using him as scapegoat like he did to Ronaldo, or maybe as a player and coach conversation, he could have called him one on
Mm-hmm.
one, then they will have the conversation, then go into the media.
You
Because if you
understand?
send me to media,
Look, managers do what pleases them. That is why they are called managers.
but
I
we are
think if
also
you have a
dealing with a
boss,
human
if you
being
have a
here.
boss, what I don't see anything wrong with what Erik Ten Hag did. No, you as a player playing for Manchester United, you need to develop this kind of thick skin to be able to stand criticism. If you can't, then it means that you are not worthy enough to play for Manchester United. That's the whole point. So if you succumb to this kind of, I think even the criticism from the manager was too soft. So if you can't even stand this sort of words, then you are not worthy of playing for Manchester United. And if any player at United supposed to be complaining, it's supposed to be Van de Beek. Van de Beek was very good from Ajax, and look at what has happened to him. So these English boys, look, they are not good enough, as I said. But the hype around them makes them think that they are with the Ronaldos and with
Not our
with.
But
rice,
but
not our
but
rice, not our
but
rice. Rice is good
Jadon
enough.
Sancho
No,
is
it
someone
depends. You know, it
Yeah,
depends. I'm not saying all of them.
yeah.
with the
Yeah, but
scenario you are taking.
most of
So
them are like that.
Our English
so with
boys
the
are good.
scenario.
Bukayo Sako is fantastic.
Yeah, because of their passports. You can't talk about that because of their passport.
But Jadon Sancho is
Uh,
someone who proved worthy in Dortmund.
Yeah.
And when even you are talking about Van der Beek,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Van der Beek, right? When he
Mm-hmm.
came
Yeah,
to
Van de
Manchester
Beek.
United, even the coach who bought him, he wasn't getting that playing time as well
Exactly.
before this coach arrived. So I don't see how both of them, even though I'm not a Manchester United fan, I'm looking at it
So it means
with
so it means so it means so it means he's not doing what the coaches like, or maybe he has had it deep in form.
but
Playing
I
for
have a
United
question
is
for
a
you. I
different
have a
ball game
question for you. I
than
have a question
Dortmund
for you, King. I have
and
a question
Ajax.
for you.
United right now. Look, yeah. Let me make this point clear.
Mhm.
United is all about money, revenues. You understand? And
Mhm.
then if you are not that sort of player that can attract a lot of money for those owners to have dividends, I mean big huge dividends, they are going to have problem with you. They don't care about the players playing on the ground. They only care about players who will come in and then perform, and at the same time give them this sort of money that they want.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'll acknowledge my boss here, Gulemo Gaza. Gulemo Gaza said, "Boss man, he's a fantastic fan for sure, and hey, he's like a brother. Thank you very much for joining." But I want you to also take it like a scenario
Kofi
like
wanted
this.
to say something.
I
Yeah, Kofi.
yeah. I said I have a question for you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Looking at all these fantastic players coming to Manchester United and all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
dropping off, don't you
Mm-hmm.
think, just as I believe in my coach Ateta, I always say, it's my job to get the best
Mm-hmm.
out of these players. Don't
Mm-hmm.
you think Ten Hag is not doing
Mm-hmm.
enough to get these boys to their peak? Because talent alone cannot work for a player. You, as a coach, need to develop that player and make sure he gets to his best. And for now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit here and say Ten Hag hasn't done enough or something like that, blah, 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 blah. To
Okay.
me, I see that Ten Hag is not developing their players to their peak. This is what I see. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
asking, say, don't you think he's got a role in that to make sure the players play to their best? Because Jadon Sancho is not a bad player. He did it at Dortmund. One of the best,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic young players. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Look at Jude
Mm-hmm.
Bellingham. He did it at Dortmund. He went to Real Madrid and then he picked up the pace. Fantastic player. He came to Manchester United and all of a sudden he's a flop. Just like that.
And before
There's
you answer
let
it,
me.
let me.
Mm-hmm.
There's just
Mm-hmm.
this similar one. Before you answer it,
Mm-hmm.
Jadon Sancho, like a player like his caliber,
Mm-hmm.
and he even requested for a transfer because
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea needed him on loan, but United
Mm-hmm.
rejected. So
Mm-hmm.
if you think he's not performing, why don't you also allow him to go?
Because we couldn't get a replacement. That's it. You understand? We couldn't get a replacement.
Uh-huh.
And Kofi,
You are
to
not
your
getting a replacement. Okay. I'm sorry. You are
mm-hmm.
not getting a replacement. In as much
Mm-hmm.
as what Jadon Sancho did was not good, you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
come out and reply blah 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 because the manager did not see anything wrong. He only said your performances at the training ground is not good enough. That's
Do,
why he's not playing you. So you have to go
exactly.
back to the drawing board, put your shoes and your laces on, work hard to prove the manager wrong. I
That's
understand
that.
that thing. He's
That's
out of
that.
context. Yes,
Exactly.
the manager
Exactly.
is right for saying that. But then again, I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
Ten Hag, all
Mm-hmm.
these players, young players that come under you, they are not performing to that level. Look at
Mm-hmm.
Rashford. You know,
Mm-hmm.
look at Rashford. Rashford is like today fire.
Yeah.
Look at Jadon Sancho, one of the best players. You had Elanga, right? He was one of the promising young stars.
Nah,
Boom,
but
off.
he's Alanga is
This
not
is
the
what
sort
I'm
of player
saying.
United need. No.
This is what I'm saying. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
right now as a manager, this is what you have. So try and bring them up, instill something in them.
I
There's a
like.
saying that
Mm-hmm. I like the
best
word you
signing.
used. I like the word you used. Manager instead of
Yeah,
coaching. There's that's the two different thing.
yeah. It's
At the
it's your job
elite,
as well to coach.
no,
What
he
to coach?
was a coach at Dortmund because the Dortmund players were brought up from a system that they are so comfortable and they are so used to. You understand? But when you are managing clubs like United and Arsenal, and you need these elite players to manage them. Erik Ten Hag has passed that coaching level. Right now, he's a manager, so he need to
No,
have the
no,
talent ready, and then to
no,
yeah,
no,
that's
no,
it.
no, no. I don't
That's
agree
it.
with
That's
you,
why we
K.
have. Look, that's why we
No,
have.
no,
That's
no,
why we
no.
have.
Then
That's why we
no,
have.
no,
That's why we have
no,
coaches.
no.
Do you know United?
Yeah,
These sort of managers, they also have coaches.
yeah, yeah. They do. Yes, of course
Exactly.
they do.
These
Yeah, sure.
coaches
Yeah,
take them
yeah,
through, like
yeah,
drill them into the system of the
yeah,
manager.
yeah,
It's the
yeah.
manager's job to just manage these players. And if you are not good enough, if you are not performing to the standard that the manager needs, you need to be dropped off. That's it. You understand?
No, no,
Look,
no. I
look.
don't agree with you.
It's like
This
United
this one is
right
going to
now.
go
Right
on
now,
for a long time.
Kofi.
I
Right now,
totally disagree with you on this. Yeah,
United
yeah,
is
yeah,
so
yeah.
down. United is so down in form that we are just comparing United to teams like West Ham. You
Oh,
understand?
Chelsea.
Those Chelsea, Chelsea is good.
I'm
Chelsea is
sorry,
good.
it's
You
just
know,
making a mockery
look,
out of it.
don't be shocked when Chelsea actually mount a title challenge on Manchester City. Don't be shocked because look at the number of players Chelsea have on the injury list, and those sort of players are very good. They are elite players. They are there. So if two or three supposed to come back right now, the Chelsea team that we see today will be different.
No, no, they'll come back and
Let's
beat
not
Man
get
City.
it
No, no, no,
twisted.
no, 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 no.
Yes,
I don't see them
I'm
coming
telling
back
you.
like that.
Look,
No, 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 no,
look,
no,
Kovi.
no,
Arsenal is not
no.
playing to the level that they played last season. We all can agree
And
on this.
looking at the Arsenal team, just
Hmm.
look at the Arsenal team. Look at
Hmm.
positional play. Look at tactics.
Hmm.
Look at how they are trying. And if
Hmm.
Arsenal cannot match a title challenge, do you think Chelsea can?
Look, Arsenal have been given the opportunity. No, Arsenal have been
Why?
given the opportunity to use their
The
best
Premier League
players.
is not a joke, yeah. It's not
This
a
is
joke.
what I'm saying. Arsenal has been given the opportunity to use their best players, but we are yet
Yeah.
to see that from Chelsea.
And which player are you talking about from the bench?
Nkunku, that guy,
Uh-huh.
Nkunku, that guy
You see,
will
I'm
change the
quiet.
whole team.
No.
That
Nkunku is not Haaland. Listen, he's coming to the Premier League. Hey, this is Premier League. Who will not score 30
So,
goals to match a
so we
challenge?
didn't see players. We didn't see players coming into the Premier League to perform exceptional from Bundesliga.
Exceptionally,
Yeah.
it's been Haaland.
Huh?
Exceptionally, it's been Haaland.
Haaland was
Except,
introduced into
and
an
with
elite
Haaland,
squad. You understand?
that's what I'm saying. And even Haaland, it's because he was introduced into an elite, a fantastic made up
Yeah,
squad.
yeah,
That is why
yeah.
he put that kid. Had Haaland been playing for Chelsea or Arsenal,
It would
Arsenal
have been a
now would
different
have
story.
it would have been a different story.
True.
Do you understand me? So don't
Yeah.
expect Nkunku to come back to do the magic. No, look at Jackson. Jackson picked up the pace. Oh,
No,
hey, he's turning up.
you are not getting my point. You know, sometimes Manchester City last 2 seasons was good, but then they needed the catalyst to make them the winning machine that we see today. You
Yes, I
understand?
can say yeah.
There's supposed to be a spark somewhere, just a little spark, and then the whole thing will bend down.
Now,
That's what I'm
okay,
saying.
this argument is
Nkunku is
what
that
kind
sort
of
of
player is
player.
Nkunku? What kind of player is Nkunku?
You know, I've been following Nkunku.
Uh-huh.
You know, his playing style is more like the Lampard, but then he has this uniqueness around him. Like he can play in the striker's role. That's the only difference. But when Nkunku is coming
He
from,
drops off. He drops off.
exactly, that's what I'm
This is the
saying.
problem. Now, this is the problem. To challenge for the title, you need an
Mhm.
in-burst striker that's going to give you like 20 goals.
Look, it depends on the play style. If you have seen Pochettino
Okay,
play style this
okay.
season, it will suit that sort of player. I'm telling you.
No.
Look,
I keep
we
Let's
telling
see.
cannot.
you this.
You know what? We cannot base this sort of argument on assumption. It's
I keep
true.
telling you these
It's
things
true.
that
But then, don't forget that player is an elite. That's what I'm saying. Chelsea is getting an elite player from their injury list. If this guy come back, he is adding value to the teams that they have. It's not like
Nkunku
JD.
was
It's
playing
not
in
like
the
JD.
Bundesliga, right?
Yeah.
He was top player in the
Mm-hmm.
Bundesliga, right? Now,
Yeah.
what of Jadon Sancho.
No, they are
Oh,
different
Sancho has been
dynamics
given
there.
exactly. Sancho has been look.
I'm
Before
The
just
United
making
team
a
that
before
we
point.
see today is different from the Chelsea team.
before Nkunku even
There's this sort of eagerness and youthfulness around this Chelsea team. United have been buying monopost players. We bought
And
Ronaldo.
what Chelsea without a striker, they cannot compete.
Yes,
And
for United,
Nkunku,
it's all about the money. If you buy
he will do
Varane,
his best
Varane
as
has
a
achieved
player. I'm
anything
sorry,
in
he will do
his
his
playing
best,
career.
but Nkunku isn't going to give you 20 plus goals in the Premier League to
Yeah, but
mount a
he's going
challenge.
to provide that sort of spark that they need.
Let's see.
You understand?
Let's
Exactly.
see.
He's he
This
will
is
add
Premier
value
League.
to the
Don't
Chelsea team
forget.
that yeah, it's true. We understand. We
Kofi,
understand it's
don't
the
forget.
Premier League.
Kofi, don't forget. Before Nkunku actually leave the Bundesliga, he was the Golden Boot winner of the
Yes.
league. So
Yes.
this
And
injury
he
just took.
wasn't out and out striker. Remember
And
that.
also look at the preseason when he was there, Chelsea play and currently. So
Yes. It
it's
was
even
different.
though when he comes back, the injury might worry
I'm
him.
sure
But for him,
Kofi doesn't watch Chelsea's match.
I do.
nah,
Do you know the
You
number of
do?
goals that
Do
Nicolas
you watch
Pepe
do you
scored
watch
in
the
the
he's
Premier
preseason?
League?
Arsenal.
Do
He's
you watch the
Arsenal fan.
preseason?
You play
Oh,
Chelsea,
okay.
beat them.
And what was the result? You didn't play Chelsea in the preseason.
No, no, you
You
did
didn't play
not.
Chelsea.
You did not.
You
No,
didn't
Are you
play
sure?
Chelsea in
it's
the
no,
preseason.
it's Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid. I think it's Real Madrid.
We didn't play Real Madrid.
No, it's Real Madrid. No,
Yeah,
it's Barcelona. Barcelona. It's
we played
Barcelona.
Barcelona. We
Yeah,
played
it's
You play
Chelsea.
Barcelona.
Manchester United.
You played
Manchester
Manchester
United.
United.
So you didn't play
Yeah.
Chelsea.
No,
So do
it
you
was
think do you think Chelsea can come to the Emirates or even at Stamford Bridge and now beat us?
yes.
It's
I
possible.
think Chelsea can cause an
No,
up.
no, no,
You know,
no,
as
no.
you know,
It's not last season though.
Arsenal fans has he
This
said
is
what?
too much.
I
Is
said
that
it's not last
no?
season.
Repeat what you said.
I said it's not last season.
Let me see. I keep telling you this guy. Chelsea players, most of the players they bought
The
are
time.
players that runs with the ball.
So let's
Yeah,
let's
it's
wrap
true.
up.
For that, you are
When you
right.
get these,
You are
I keep
right.
on telling you this. And when you
Yeah,
get these
for
smaller
that you are
clubs,
right.
they are just like Nottingham Forest. What they did
They
to
will
you.
they will sit back and watch you play silly on the ground.
And in Kunku, I don't think had Nkunku been in the game, he was going to change that game. Because Nkunku is the type of player that comes back and tries to push. You know, you cannot
Yeah,
restrict Nkunku into the box. And even if
yeah,
you do restrict Nkunku into the box, his height is going to deter him from so many things. You
yeah.
need that kind of a structural, like striker, like Eden Haaland,
Mm.
like Hurricane, like Romelu Lukaku.
Like Hodgland.
Mm.
He's good. Didn't you see what he did when he came on?
We are talking about Chelsea, you know.
So
Okay, let me tell you one thing about
let's
one
wrap
thing
up.
about
Okay.
Premiership.
Mhm.
Unless you are exceptional, perform this season, or when they see your style of play,
Mhm.
they will develop a strategies to stop you. Look at Bukayo Saka. Now, anytime Bukayo Saka gets the ball, there are three players marking his
Yeah,
the outspace and the in pace.
they are showing him on his right.
They are showing him on his right, and with his right, he cannot do anything. This is
Yeah,
Premiership, so you cannot pinpoint a player and say he's going to be exceptionally well or he's going to. I think this is
Okay.
a topic for another
So
day.
but it will add value to the Chelsea team right now. That's what
Yeah,
I'm telling
we
you.
need
but to mount a
Champions
challenge,
League
I don't think
football.
so.
It's Champions League
I
football.
said don't be surprised. Don't be surprised
That
when
was
you
the
I
word.
actually
agree,
see.
Papa.
Yes.
Chelsea.
Ah, my God.
So
My
okay.
God,
It's like
this guy
Tottenham when they
just
are playing.
doesn't like
Have you seen
Chelsea.
Tottenham
Yeah.
play this time?
You know, as we know.
Yeah, Tottenham is playing good.
Playing fantastic. But
Yeah.
just like when Nuno Espirito came to Tottenham, this is the
Hmm.
same. They will drop off because
Uh,
Yeah,
they are all new.
yeah,
They
they
don't.
don't have that sort of. Even
K, you
it
know,
happens to Pep Guardiola, so it's normal.
You know the reason why he's just on Chelsea. You know, there are
Yeah, he
only
just don't
two
like
teams.
Chelsea.
There are only two teams in London, and that is Chelsea
No,
and
no,
the
no, no, no,
rest.
no. I hate
You
you. I
see,
hate Tottenham more than Chelsea.
Chelsea and the rest.
and the rest. That's
Yeah, the West Ham, the
I
Crystal Palaces, and the Arsenals, and the
yeah,
Tottenhams.
I don't do that.
yeah.
But I don't hate Chelsea as much as I hate Tottenham. You know. So if Chelsea is doing well, it does not really affect me or touches me because Chelsea they can go to the market, they outspend everybody. So if Chelsea is doing well,
Now,
it,
now
Okay.
you understand where Kofi
Uh,
is coming
yeah,
from.
I understand. He is concerned about our spending, but it's still our money.
Yeah.
But
No,
and you are not buying the good
he's
players.
picking
Right
his
now, you are not
comfort
buying the
zone.
good players.
yeah,
You're
true.
buying
He's
the
picking his
average
comfort
players.
zone carefully.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we are not the
What
only team that buy
for
player
about
over
100 and
100
something million
million.
pounds?
You
Look
see,
at him. He runs with the ball out to the corner side.
okay. Okay, speak about the Ghana game, then we'll just wrap it up.
I watch. I to be honest with you, it's like I've lost touch with this sort of new players that we have in the Blaster squad. But then although I watched the match, it wasn't to my satisfaction. I
Like me.
I I think we could have done better with possession of the ball, how we move, our passing, and because it looked like the players were just running around with the ball. They didn't really know what they were doing on the pitch, and I was a little bit disappointed. I was a little bit disappointed, and the sort of players that they've called into the Blaster team, I don't think some of them merit the calls, especially our left back. Baba Rahman is about time. He's young, but then I don't think he's that good for the Blaster team that we can do something with. You understand? So um I don't know what to say. I just hope
So
that things good could come out
yeah.
of this young youth squad that we are assembling. That's all that I can say. I just hope. And when you talk of Dede, remember this morning I was telling you that Dede's calls was on point because the team needs this sort of, I mean, OGs in the
Experience.
in the yes, with together with the youth to just tell them how it is like to play for the national team. So Dede's call was, I don't have any problem with Dede's call, even though people were making noises about it. But for me, it's okay. But it's just the whole team and the playing style. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. That's it.
So now I think we are almost getting to the end of the show. For sure, we are going to see you next week. And uh,
Yeah, the
Kofi,
Premier
your
League is
last,
coming back.
yeah, is coming back next weekend. So Kofi, your last words to the fans. Then
My fans out there, I always speak to these Arsenal fans, and I don't know if anyone is watching. I'm never going to talk to United fans. I'm never going to talk to Chelsea fans. I'll talk to football fans and Arsenal fans.
Football fans are
You know,
watching you.
that's what I'm saying. Football fans, everyone has his priority for this season, and I cannot
Yeah.
tell Chelsea fans to give
you you, you,
Pochettino
s-
time.
you see the propaganda he's going on.
I know.
Meanwhile, the
Yeah, I know.
Chelsea's, the United, they are all football fans. Now you
Yeah,
exempt Chelsea, you exempt, but you are talking about football fans.
Yeah.
We know you.
yeah. So, but the football fans, this is what
It's
I'm
tw-
saying.
it's it's 2023. Anything is possible.
Yeah, I cannot speak to United fans. Say,
Yeah,
oh,
you
Ten
can.
Hag
Why
is
not? You are a football fan.
no, no, I can't
Okay.
because I only analyze the game and then I give my opinion about it.
He's
About,
doctor. He's happy that we are not performing well. I understand. So it's
of
okay.
course, I will be happy.
You see?
Doctor is also happy. Are you not happy?
Huh?
Are you not happy that Manchester
Huh?
United is not performing?
No, as a
No,
football fan, sometimes we want to watch the best plays the
the
best.
best
Oh
play.
no,
Yeah.
you have to be a flop.
But I'm
This
only not
this
happy with City winning the league title again. That's the only
Yeah.
thing I'm not
and
happy
you
with.
people are. This is the problem. You are not good enough. You are not good enough. So support
No,
us. Let's challenge them.
Manchester. Yeah, I'm supporting Arsenal, but then I'm afraid that Arsenal is going to drop off.
I'm not supporting
That's
Arsenal.
that. That's what I'm afraid of. No, I will never
Because they are
support
going to
Chelsea too.
disappoint you.
Let's go to Liverpool
You
with
know,
the Chelsea fans.
I will never support Chelsea over Arsenal. No, I will never do that. I will never ever do that. You
Okay,
understand my point?
they have
I will
Arsenal.
never ever, because I see Chelsea more of a threat than Arsenal.
Now, you see, Kofi
Yeah,
is
it's
an.
true.
You see, he's
Based
now
on based
insulting
on
you.
based on facts, Chelsea is more threat to United than Arsenal.
Foot-
So
Football is changing. That old star that Chelsea used to play is gone. Well,
Okay.
no,
yesterday
but
I was watching.
you just said that they have the finances. they have the finances to back
And they
any
can go to
manager.
the market. Yeah.
Exactly. So that
Nothing is happening.
football is about money right now. Look at what Pep Guardiola is
On the
doing.
pitch, you have to get your tactics right. So actually, let me talk to my
Yeah, it's
Arsenal
So
true.
fans then.
Kofi,
And then
Kofi,
Talk
talk
to
to
your
your
Arsenal
Arsenal
fans.
fans the
my
next time.
Arsenal fans, I don't know if anyone is there out there watching
They
us,
will
but then
come on. It's just yeah.
yeah, surely they will come and watch us. I
Because I
want
know I
us.
have Arsenal fans here.
I want them to just trust
Yeah,
the process
they watch. They
and
watch. They
believe
watch
in
it later
Ateta.
on.
I've been following Ateta. I've gone back to watch
Mm,
him when he was a kid. I've watched
mm,
speeches from one of the top managers. Let's take aside Pep Guardiola and what he speaks of him.
mm,
Pochettino, he made a comment when Ateta was coming up, and he said he was with him at Paris Saint-Germain. He
mhm,
watched him play as a kid, and even at that time, he comes to them. He goes to the coaches and puts his ideas on board. He tells them what to do, and he was surprised. So he pinpointed that Ateta, if he only want to go into coaching, will be one of the best coaches in the world. I am saying again, Ateta was born to be. So trust him, believe in what he's doing, and support him. There's no one better than what we have right now. So let's believe in him. Let's trust the process and throw our support. This is what I'm saying. Hey, there's no one out there
you are.
better than what we have.
But remember, the internet is just like an elephant.
That is why I'm talking to them that we should support him.
I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. In case we do a Ateta, and he gets out of our club,
Yeah,
let us suffer.
that's what I'm saying. Remember, the internet
Suffer.
doesn't forget, just like the elephant. So what you are saying, we will play it back to you.
I'm one of his. Look, when he came back, when he came to the club at the first time, we were
Okay.
losing games. He
Yeah.
was trying to, hold on to play and do the counter attacking, and then people were
Yeah.
bashing him. He's not good enough. Then they asked him a question, Ateta, can you do the job? Do you think? And he said, believe me, trust me, if I can't do the job, I wouldn't be sitting here. And when a person speaks and talks and say, believe me, the person knows what he's doing. Let's give him the chance.
Yo,
Let's give him
so
the
we
trust to compete.
we
He can do it.
Yeah, in
so
Ateta
we
we
believe
believe.
him. We believe him.
Yeah.
Unless at the end of the season he disappoints us. Okay.
He will stay.
I
Even
know
if
I
he
know
Your
doesn't.
last.
he's going to disappoint us. I know.
So okay, your last words.
Um just as Kofi said, for United fans and for football lovers, we always want to see like the best plays the best. So I just wish that we will get our we will get back to our winning ways and then build something that can actually match boot to boot to the Arsenals and the Chelseas and the Manchester Cities. Those are the sort of games I would love to watch, like the Real Madrid. You understand?
Okay.
And I'll also say this about the Ghana team. I think we shouldn't be so carried away with the win that we had on the weekend, this weekend. I think it's a new youthful team that we are trying to build. So the fans should just let's give the manager some time and then let's support them and hope that something good could really come out of it. That's it.
Yeah, something good could really come out. So actually United are inspired to be like Real Madrid. Can you imagine? I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
believe that.
yeah. Trust us.
You
Trust
can't
us.
believe it
One
because you are a
one
Chelsea fan. You don't
one day,
support them. So how
one
can
day
you
we
believe
are
it?
we are going to get
A
there.
great club, inspiring to be like
The
a great
Glazers,
club.
the Glazers won't be there forever. That's what I'm
That's why
saying.
that's why they say Chelsea fans we are stubborn because we will never say we want to be like Real.
Yeah, and you have the bank rollers. They will always support you. You know, if you are a manager and you have open checkbook like what Guardiola is having, I mean, anything is possible.
Okay.
That's what I've been saying. Anything is possible. You get the right players that you need. But if you are like United and then it's all about dividends, then they only give you players that will bring money into the club for them to fill their pockets.
I also think Ten Hag has to do a little bit more.
Ten Hag is just
Yeah.
a manager.
Yeah.
He's just a manager. He's managing
Well,
what he has. You understand?
today
And
you are
these players are
supporting
not
Ten
are
Hag.
not.
It will also play to you.
No, the internet doesn't forget what he just said about Arteta. I
No,
said, please keep
what you
it.
are saying
At the
about
end,
Ten Hag, I'm also saying.
Oh, to me, I would love us
No,
to
I'm
keep
talking to
Arteta
him.
like we did to Arsene Wenger. Just give
The
him,
way,
let him do his thing.
the way he's also talking about Erik Ten Hag, it will play back to him as well. Because we
no,
are
let's
saying you
give.
are supporting him.
There's no manager right now that can manage United better than what Erik is doing. Because it's not about him. The players are not good enough. That's all that I'm saying. The players are not good
The
enough.
coach has to do a little bit more.
But he's doing his best. We were third last season with this sort of players that we had last season. And look, Casemiro, Monopos, Varane.
Hey, you call Casemiro monopause? One of the
No,
best central midfielders in the
yeah,
world.
he's good. He's very good.
He's the
But
best in the league.
the system that the manager wants to play right now, it doesn't suit Casemiro. That's
Who
what
brought
I'm saying.
Casemiro?
Is the bosses. It's not Erik Ten Hag. It's the
I don't
bosses.
think they can just bring Casemiro without consulting Erik Ten
Guys,
Hag.
They will
we
no.
want
It's more like
listen.
Our
they
time
will
is up,
consult you. Like, look, we have
Our
this.
time is up.
We,
Our
See,
time is up.
we wanted
you
to
know,
spend
Kofi,
only 40,
Simon, see
45 minutes, but then we are spending almost 2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah, football
So yeah,
is
football.
never ending. So
But then Erik Ten Hag, let's end it here, guys. Thank you very much for your time, and we're going to continue next week. Premier League will start. We'll have more points. And before you came, Kofi actually talked about us moving to La Liga, Premier League, and Ghana Premier League as well,
yeah,
and also which one, Bundesliga as well.
yeah.
So he talked about those ones. So we'll put it, and maybe depending on our time, because we need to, maybe we can add Saturdays if we are all free on Saturdays, maybe a particular time, we could actually make it possible for sure. And
Yeah.
to the guys, thank you very much for watching. And if you have your opinion as well, you can also let us know. Maybe when we meet on Sunday, maybe
And
probably,
I,
or
I want to say one thing.
yeah.
Me ndamfofoɔ a wɔwɔ Kumasi nso
They are
wɔn
interested.
ma share videos no around nti no. I
Okay.
think say bɛpɛ sɛ
Hey,
ɛbɛhwɛ bi.
this Chelsea fans from
Yeah,
Kumasi
yeah,
are
I'll
coming.
be a person.
Yeah, they are more into Chelsea's than the Arsenal.
I want a Chelsea fan so I can be
And
neutral because I don't like the way.
But did you watch the
enti
game yesterday?
michia Papa Sly.
Arsenal
Papa
legends.
Sly no oye radio presenter ɛwɔ Ash FM Sports.
Okay.
Nti michia no I think say one of these days no ɔbɛpɛ sɛ ɔbɛba so na yɛne na kasa. Nti Sly michia o.
Did you watch the game against the Chelsea legends against Barcelona legends?
I
No.
did.
When
I-
Essien scored, and you know, you need these
It was
players.
nice.
They are playing better than what
It was
they
nice.
have.
It was nice. That's what we said. We need
Old
to
school
integrate
football is always the best. You know, honam kanam. That's it.
These players, they are better than what Chelsea have now. Trust me. Essien was
the way
controlling
they
the
play.
middle,
They did
scoring
very
goals.
well.
Mikel Obi.
ACM score. John Terry score.
Those
Hey,
monopost
Zola.
level of football. Be careful, oh, be careful. Simon, be careful. Be careful. Stop trolling Chelsea like that. It's
Don't
not
worry.
good.
No one better.
When we beat Arsenal, he will understand.
It will never happen. Your best will be drawn. Just
So,
as I keep telling Kim.
okay,
at the
anyone
Emirates.
who wants to be joining, like we can make that arrangement to actually, because we actually need that growth and sharing it will actually be good. Kofi also share so that we
Yeah,
can have so many people.
I just
on
got
board.
the link today, so
Yeah.
But I have to just contact one or two boys and see, But internet in central region is like kind of mountain.
Mountain.
So I'll try my best. I'll try my
All
best.
right.
Oh, but kakra.
Yeah, sure.
Kakra, yeah. Coco
Come on, you why?
Oh yeah, but look, I still have hope this season. Not for the league, but at least for top four. I still have
Oh,
hope.
Aden. Like, you know what
And
you
even Burnley,
How?
who is at the bottom of the league, have hope.
They have hope.
So for the hope, everyone have the hope.
No, if you are placed in top four, it means that you are going to play in Champions League
Okay.
and then
What you
get a little money
What
to
you
and
My,
then also
my,
attract big players. Yeah,
my
you made
man,
no, you
Azima,
didn't, but at least
Last season,
third, fourth.
Gary Neville kept saying something that you people were going to challenge Man City for the title and not Arsenal. Until the last 4 games, he gave up. So maybe we
I said
my man is here.
Gary Neville also said that Chelsea Arsenal to me in J League,
this season he said we are going to win the league.
My man,
Gary
Azima is
Neville.
here.
I don't know what kind of pot he's smoking, but ono the nasim behind
Uh,
Because sometimes what he says,
you are not the
at the
only
top,
person who hates
with
Chelsea. I'm telling you about.
saying Arsenal is not going to win the league this year. He kept saying it. Even when we were 10 points with few matches to go, he kept saying it. He said
because
Manchester City.
because he didn't want to be sacked. That's
Yes.
the point. He just wanted to
Yes.
be a comfortable zone.
Yeah.
And this season, believe it or not, the same thing is going to happen. He will keep on saying that. And sometimes a manager's saying I'm fighting for it gives the players even inspired than just saying, oh,
Yeah,
we are not there, we are not there.
that
But,
inspiration
but, but
to
my man is
No,
also
I'm
here.
talking about Gary Neville. Gary Neville, once Manchester
oh
United footballer, but now a
oh
fan.
yeah, our legend.
Yeah, you're a legend. Yeah, I listen to him a lot. He
Yeah,
bashes
he
us.
also talks too
Yeah,
much.
okay, cheaper Arsenal. Sometimes I listen to him, I get angry. Sometimes I support him. Sometimes I go with him, and
But he said you should keep on using Harvard. Harvard will be a unique player. Azema also doesn't like
So
us
Gary
Chelsea,
Neville said
Chelsea
that
at
you people
all,
are
and I'm
going to
so
win the
rooting for
league
the
this
club.
season.
yeah.
He actually said that.
He said it to be a surprise because everybody is looking that Manchester City will win the league, and
He's not smoking a good weed.
Masa, later. Bye bye. Guys, thank you very much for coming on, and we'll see you
but we have
next
3 minutes.
week
Let's
as
finish
well.
the 3 minutes because we have
Okay.
3 minutes.
Okay. I'm here.
Okay,
Gary Neville is not smoking a good
let's
pot. I don't
football.
know
You cannot
what.
you cannot
It's
finish
not
talking about
smoking a
football.
good
So
pot.
I think we'll meet some
Yeah.
other time. And Chelsea fans, guess be ready for us. We are coming like a kite.
This season we are going to beat Arsenal home and away. If
Hey,
it doesn't happen,
hey,
if it doesn't happen,
hey.
listen.
Uh-huh.
If it doesn't
If he
happen,
doesn't, uh-huh,
if it doesn't
Wow.
happen,
uh-huh.
eh? If
We
it
are
doesn't
listening.
happen,
Mm-hmm.
if it doesn't happen,
Mm-hmm.
then Pochettino is not a coach.
He's not a coach.
Arsenal home and away, mark it down.
Um,
I told you there's only two clubs in London, Chelsea and the rest.
yeah, no.
Because you even hate Chelsea because you know Chelsea is competitor to you than even Arsenal.
Yes, Chelsea is a threat more than Arsenal.
Okay, come and beat us at the Emirates. The only team that can beat us at the Emirates now, Manchester City, because they are too experienced. They know how to do. Relax
Yeah.
and just
And
capitalize on our mistakes and beat us.
they
That's the
they
only
have
team.
they
But I
have
don't
they
see
have the
any other
players.
team. We can go away and lose to Chelsea, no doubt about it. It's possible.
Mhm.
We can go away to Manchester United. I keep telling you, even at Old Trafford, we can go away to Liverpool and lose to Liverpool, just like they beat Manchester United 7 at the. So it's possible. But at the Emirates, my brother, forget it. Chelsea with this current crop of players beating us at the Emirates in front of our fans.
But Liverpool too is doing very well.
Our time is up. They are.
Yeah.
There was a debate online, I think yesterday. Some were saying they've got a depth more than even Arsenal to challenge City for the title, and some
No,
were
they don't have the depth.
disagreeing because apart from Nunes, that sometimes comes off the bench to
They
change the
lack
game.
midfielders.
Yes.
They only
Soboslai
have
is not
a lot
doing
of
bad.
attackers.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
boys.
guys.
Yeah.
All right,
Uh,
guys, have a wonderful week, and then Yebeka Sechi.
yeah. So see you.
Kofi, be a good boy, okay? No, kora,
Oh
please.
no, no, no.
Be a
I'm only
be a
here
good.
supporting Arsenal and believing in
That's
Arteta. Yeah.
that's good. Be a
I
good
listen
boy,
to him a lot.
Doctor. Catch Kofi to be a good boy.
Hey,
Ah,
K. Hey,
No, I'm just saying, be a good boy.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Okay. I will.
Arsenal only have
Thanks for the
boys; they
advice.
don't have men. So I understand.
Doctor, what solve a puzzle? No, so easy. All right.
Watching one of the Shamu,
Thank you.
yeah. No more
Yeah,
TV.
thank you very much for coming on. Thank you very much for your time. And probably we'll look into it and say, see you
Bye.
in the
See
next.
you.
All right. Bye.